Today we are with Casey, the owner of Dragon Panda Stitches. Casey, tell us your story. How did you get involved in coming to market like this?
I'm a very, very crafty person. I do a lot of things with my hands. I have ADHD really bad, so I'm always using my hands. And I started just making different kinds of things. I started out with my bracelets, and my friend said, hey, you should start selling these. And so I made a bunch. I went to a market, and I didn't sell anything. And so I was like, okay, well, we need to figure this out. And so I made a couple other things. I started making some bags, and I brought those to a market as well, and those actually started to sell. And then as each market goes on, I come up with new ideas, and now I have like tons of different items that I sell, and I make everything I sell.
And how long have you been coming to market like this?
About a year. So I started in the market that I went to that I flopped at. I was in November 2023.
Perfect. And so when I come to market, one of the things, like you mentioned, your first market flap. One thing that I struggle with is knowing how much product to bring, because you can go to a market, bring a lot of product, and you flap. Is there any indicator you use to know? I think this market I might have to bring more. This market I might bring to bring less. Is there anything you do?
Honestly, it really depends just on who comes, like what customers come to the market. So you never know. There's some days where I almost sell out of one product, and other times where I don't sell that at all. So it just really, it's dependent on who comes to the market that day, and there's really no way of knowing. And so usually I'll bring my entire inventory, and I'll keep a lot behind and under the table. And if I do start selling things out, I can restock. But sometimes I don't sell anything at all, so I just don't have to use that inventory.
Perfect. And how do you know like which product to make? Because I think one thing I struggle with is to control myself, because I make candles, right? And I don't want to make too many scents because it can be out of control. Because it's like this customer want this scent, this customer want this one scent. It can quickly add up to a lot of scent. Is there anything? How do you make the decision on when to make a new item to add to your list?
I usually, when I'm making a new product to start selling, I'll make just a little bit and I'll bring it to a market or two. And if it sells decently, I'll add that to my inventory to make more. But if it doesn't really sell, then I'll just not make more. And then I'll keep putting it out on the table. And if it eventually gets sold, I'll probably make another couple or so.
Perfect. And is there anything you do when you go to a market like this to make your booth look attractive, to bring foot traffic in?
Yeah, so I'm on a lot of different like Facebook groups for vendors that just give out ideas, and a lot of advice I've gotten is have different levels for your booth, and just to make it not just so one note. So I have shelving, I have other like little things that stand up, and then I also have lights surrounding my booth just to make it more fun.
Perfect. And craft show is in the name, craft, and your thing is handmade. I guess, what do you think when you go to a market? Because and you see now all of the vendors are selling homemade stuff. Some of them are selling stuff from Alibaba, they got from Amazon. What is your take on that?
Well, usually if I'm there to shop, I will support the handcrafted businesses. So the resale businesses I just kind of ignore, because I'm not there to shop for resale. I'm there to shop for things that are handmade and that the vendor actually put time and effort into making them.
Perfect. I guess going along with that is, some markets you go to, there's a ton of vendors, and usually the host of the market usually say, hey, your setup time is at 3 p.m. and you cannot take down until 7 p.m. You've been to market, or quite a bit of market so far, and you see some people come 45 minutes after they were supposed to be finished, and some people will start taking down maybe 2 hours earlier. What is your take on that? Because I feel like that distract potential customer if I'm next to them to come to my booth.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that life happens, and so sometimes if something crazy happens and you can't get to the market until 45 minutes after, not like, and it's like an emergency and you didn't plan on that, that makes sense. It happens. And same thing, taking down. Emergencies can happen and you have to leave for whatever reason. But that's the exception. And so if it's a, oh, I'm not selling anything, I'm going to leave early type of thing, you really shouldn't do that because it does distract and it makes the customers feel like, oh, the market's over, I'm going to leave, even though there's still an hour or two left.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my pet peeves about people doing that. And, I mean, talking about vendors, sometimes the host of the market could be the problem itself. They say, oh, we have a market at this place. You come at 5 o'clock and you show up. There's no one, and there's not a map, a layout, and vendors are scrambling to find a place. Have you ever have a market like this?
I haven't, but I research organizers before I start. So I make sure that the organizers have done events before, and they know they're doing. Because markets that are scrambly because the organizers aren't good at that, they're just not great markets to do. So my advice would just be research the organizer, make sure that they're actually legit and they're not trying to scam you as well.
Okay. I mean, like I say, some of those hosts usually like they're trying to, trying to get into the business of hosting market, but they are completely. Communication is lacking. They don't put a good effort on making sure the market is running smoothly.
Yep.
Do you have I go Jillian, the one that is hosting this market, is the one is my favorite because she's very good at communication. Is there some host that you always go with, or you always searching for a new market, or do you have a set one that you go to every month or something?
So this is my second one with this organizer, and I came back because my first one she was very, very well organized. And there's a lot of markets that when I go, it's my first time with them, but I have been in communication with them through email or whatever, and they're very good at helping with whatever I need. And sometimes it's kind of just like, okay, make sure you bring a table, and then you're kind of just, you don't have a specific size space. And so that's always kind of annoying because I don't know what size table to bring or things like that. I don't know how much space they'll have.
Perfect. And what would your advice be to a potential vendors that is watching this, that want to go to a market but doesn't know enough how much product to bring, what do I need to bring, a table? What advice would you give to a vendor that is on the fence?
I would say join Facebook groups for like vendor successes, and because there's lots and lots of advice on there, and they'll let you know the do's and don'ts and ins and outs of vendoring. And product-wise, do something that you're passionate about and that you enjoy creating, because if you're annoyed when you're creating it, then you're not going to be happy about selling it, and then it's just kind of not. So be happy about what you're making, like enjoy what you're making, because otherwise there's not a market for sadness.
Yeah, because the market can be stressful, because especially you have to pack your stuff, unload your stuff, set up your stuff, take down your stuff. It's not easy money. I think some people, they see Instagram and it look cute. Oh, maybe I should make this. They don't realize the effort that it takes to actually go to a market like this.
It is a lot of effort, yes. And it can be worth it. There's some shows where you make a lot of money, and there'll be other shows where you have the exact same items out and you make barely your booth fee back, or you don't even make your booth fee back. And it sucks. It does. But those markets that you do succeed at, which you never know which ones are going to be, it'll be worth it.
Perfect. And do you have a website or Facebook where people can go look for you?
I don't have a website just because I don't have the funds to do that yet. It's expensive. But I do have an Instagram where I post all of the things that I create.
What is your Instagram name?
My Instagram name is dragonpanda_stitches.
Perfect. And they can go and message you. They can order online as well, or they can order
Yeah,
through
so
that.
you can DM me on Instagram and say I want a product like this, because everything is handmade and personalized. If I don't have it made, I can make it.
Okay.
And then we communicate that way. And then depending on what it is, a lot of my items are small, so I'll just offer free shipping on it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.